Amendment 4, if it passes, is expected to change the shape of Florida's electorate for decades to come. It would give more than 1.4 million convicted felons in Florida the right to vote. NBC6 reporter Tony Pipitone found right now they feel shut out of the process. Tony?
Yeah, we're talking about people who've been convicted of felonies but are no longer in custody or on probation. And it would not include people convicted of murder or sex crimes. Angel Sanchez is grateful for much, like the bullet that missed.
Right here, when I was being shot at by some dude.
That bullet was aimed at you?
Yeah.
He was a teenage gang member on the path to prison. Now he's a college honors graduate.
Angel, congratulations.
Recipient of a prestigious scholarship and a University of Miami law student. But he's still marked, in a way, as a felon, unable to vote.
You see some of the bullet marks left on the wall, still, almost over 20-something years later.
Sentenced to 30 years in prison at age 17, he turned his life around in prison, writing legal motions that led to a sentence reduction and ultimately release. Now he wants something else, to vote.
The short of it is that I lost my voting eligibility for life before I ever had an opportunity to ever vote.
Why do you care? You got your life back together. Here you are at a fine law school, doing very well.
Come every election, as much as I could forget about the fact that I'm disenfranchised, on election day I'm reminded, Angel, you don't count.
So he is speaking out for Amendment 4, which would add Florida to the 47 other states that give voting rights to some freed convicted felons. Murderers and rapists not included here.
But excluding those individuals and excluding those that are still doing time, we're left with about 1.4 million who would be able to become part of the social fabric again in this country.
It would need 60% of the vote to pass, and not everyone is for it.
The amendment goes too far, in my opinion.
I'm Ashley Moody, and as
people like Republican Attorney General candidate Ashley Moody.
Aggravated battery or kidnapping, terrorism. None of these things would require a specific case-by-case determination whether or not rights should be restored. They'd automatically be restored. And I think that process, automatic restoration, should be for nonviolent, less serious offenses.
The governor and cabinet already act as a clemency board, but the process is slow, the waiting list long. Only about 3,000 people had their rights restored in recent years. Disproportionately affected, minorities, especially African Americans.
As much as it is a vestige of the Jim Crow era, today is now no longer impacting just African Americans, but it's starting to impact individuals across the board.
Now, Sanchez would still need to persuade the Florida bar that he's worthy of becoming a lawyer, but first he needs to get his civil rights restored, and Amendment 4 would be one way he and others could get a foot back in the door of society. Reporting in the newsroom, Tony Pipitone, NBC6 News.